And I read the letter, and it said, for the first year in business, I made a profit. I mean a real profit. He said, I've been selling clothing in Burley, Idaho for years now. The best year I had, I made $15,000. This year, I followed your guy's advice, and I made $65,000. He used new math. Here's how it works. If 2% is per annum and per event, and 10% is per annum, 2% is greater. Here's how it works. If you go and you borrow $100,000, you're going to pay 10% interest and $10,000 a year. If you take a 2% discount, now this guy, remember, he had 15% discounts. If you take only a 2% discount on $100,000 every month, that works out to be $24,000 that you save on your cost of goods sold. It costs you $10,000. So 2% is more than 10%. In this guy's case, he went from $15,000 to $65,000 in profit because he took discounts. Now the reality is, I don't recommend anybody go into debt, but debt is a tool, just like any other tool at your business. It's something you can leverage with. Went from $15,000 to $65,000. A system is 100% debt-free. The bank owes us money, so I can't borrow and take discounts because I pay cash for anything anyway. But in most businesses, there are opportunities to take discounts. So do it. Borrow if you have to. Here's the reality. Do not borrow from the IRS. That means do not withhold your payments for your taxes. You're withholding to pay your accounts payable. I know someone who did that. And by the time he had withheld $49,000 in payments to the IRS, he owed them $118,000 with penalties and interest. And they came to put him out of business. I think the IRS is allergic to small business. They wanted to shut him down. So be careful. By the way, that small business owner, by the time he was through with the IRS, if you were to hand him a piece of paper and say, open this letter, it's from the IRS, he would have to hold something because of the stress that the IRS put him through. He would have to sit down and have somebody else open the letter for him and read it to him, because there would be these flashes going on in his eyes and his ears would be ringing. And his encounter with the IRS left him disabled. So you don't screw around with the IRS. Okay. Oh, I forgot to mention lawyers. Choosing a lawyer. I want to tell you about how to choose a lawyer. You find the most expensive, the most powerful, the most bulldog, meanest, rottenest, orneriest lawyer, probably didn't graduate from the Y, and have that guy go after. When you go into court, it's to win. Coming in second in litigation is like coming in second in a gunfight. Okay? It's win or nothing. I had to sue somebody who tried to pull a major fraud. I negotiated, and they perceived my negotiation as weakness. And the more I negotiated, the more they tried to pull fraud. So I went to Ray Quinnebecker, which is, I understand, number 2 legal firm in Utah. And when we sued them, their attorneys, they went to the cut rate attorneys, and their attorneys were so bad that the judge actually berated them right in court. And my guys were so cool. It cost me $48,000 in 6 months. We won so obviously that the people we sued conceded everything. Second rule in litigation, don't go to court. That's rolling the dice. Negotiate a settlement. If you're going to win, pin them against the wall, bleed their nose, black their eyes, and then say, can we shake hands and make up? Then settle. Negotiate a settlement. Don't go to court and see if you're going to win, because it's a crapshoot and you can't afford the risk. Okay, Now we've done that. Let's go on to customer satisfaction. I'm now going to teach you something called the hygiene theory of industrial psychology. This is something about satisfiers and dissatisfiers. And I promise you, if you don't get anything else out of 90-Minute MBA, this part alone will be worth every second you've spent here, because it will give you a totally different perspective and help you redefine not only your business, but your life, your relationship with other people, your relationship with supervisors and employees, with your spouse and with your children. This is something that I can only teach by example, so I'm going to do some examples of what satisfiers and dissatisfiers are. The concept is this. Dissatisfiers are things that when they're wrong, it upsets us. If they're fixed, big deal. Satisfiers are things that we don't expect, but when they're there, we go, wow. Simple story. Programmer came to me as we were just about to ship out the software, and he said, I've been working on this update for 6 months and have every reported bug fixed. We shipped the software and we got a big ho-hum. Everything that was in the software would be defined as a dissatisfier with a negative mathematical value. When we took the negatives all out, the mathematical value of our update that we shipped had a mathematical value of 0. Nobody was impressed. The next time we put out an update, we added this and we added that, and I insisted on adding something that I defined as a satisfier. We know that if you're going to print a payroll, you got 50 checks, it's going to jam on either number 49 or number 50. And the old strategy has always been restore your backup, roll the dice again, and see if it's going to jam or not. Well, I said, let's try something different. Let's program it so that when it finishes printing, the program asks the question, did all the checks print correctly? If you say yes, it'll just finish. It always does. If you say no, it'll say, what was the number on the last check that did print correctly? You type that in. Then it will ask, what is the number of the next check that's in the printer? You type that in, press enter, prints 2 more checks. Well, the programmer said, wow, this is just a frill. It means nothing. Well, that's what he thought. It was a satisfier. What we had, first, we got phone calls and people said, that is so cool. And we got faxes and we got emails. And you know what really frosted that program was when we got that fruit basket. That was a thank you. That was a real thank you, because it was unexpected. That satisfier turned our customer's head. I'm going to show you some things on another screen. This is a satisfier. I think, it's got to read here. On my software, and by the way, this is on the top of the line package. This is the package that you get while you're in class, and it steps down to the lower version. This is a package that if you're in construction, this package here has a base price of $5,000, but it's got satisfiers in it. Let's see if I can find the cursor. If people owe you money, and there we go, turns into that. You can see, let's go back. You want to know who owes you 121 days, so you click on there. There it is. You want to see that invoice. And then you call up this number, and you talk to Afton Russett, and you say, you owe me this money, what's going on? And Afton, standard answer, I never did see that invoice. So what you do is you print it, and while you're talking to her, you click on here, and you send it to the fax, and you fax it to her while you're talking to her. That is a satisfier. It's totally unexpected. We used to call them bells and whistles. It's cool. People don't expect it. That's what a satisfier is. In your own environment, you will have satisfiers. See if I have another satisfier here. See if it'll come up. Here's a satisfier for you. No matter where you are in our software, those of you who have it or will have it, click the help button, and what comes to screen is a full color picture of where you were. Most software companies have a help file that's a yellow background and black text. When we put out an update,